Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter Critique, where I take a look at a different Kickstarter tabletop game project every weekday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And sometimes we head on over to GameFound/Indiegogo, since now they own Indiegogo, and check out one of their projects. So today we're checking out, that you can rank them now. So let's sort them by the most popular. Let's see how popular this one is. Terra Mystica, no-brainer. By the way, I have heard some people saying, wow, they were surprised Terra Mystica only made $663,000. I haven't checked out the project page, but I think you also need to take a step back and realize what style game Terra Mystica is. Like, that is the deep side of the pool. So I think $663,000 for a game that heavy is still good. But, I do plan on hopefully checking that one out. Maybe, it's going to be done soon. Dang it. But instead, I'm checking out this one, which is currently the 10th most popular project on all of Kickstarter. Why am I checking it out? I have no good reason. I scheduled it last month. Here we are. 7.4 thousand people are fans of this. 514 people have backed Restless. Looking at the main image, it's very poor, in my opinion. Mountains, a circle, a guy, and white box. The only thing I know is that you're going to sell me a big box. And hint, that's kind of what I expect on GameFound, right? Kickstarter, it's still like, we got all the small boxes. But GameFound, I just assume you're launching something massive. Hopefully this fills me in. Restless is a fantasy adventure game where you and up to 3 other players lose yourselves in a vast, I love that word, by the way, lose yourselves, that phrase, in a vast open world brimming with dangers, treasures, and excitement. Each session is packed with gripping events that culminate in an epic boss fight. That's probably why I want to cover it, because that sounds fun. Brimming with dangers, treasures, and excitement. It sounds like a fun exploration game. Play it with my friends. Hopefully it can be drop in, drop out. I really don't like the main image, though. I definitely feel like there's way more they could have done with that. But it's raised $73,000. It's going to happen. Look, this is why I hate the squares. Look how much that main, honestly, I would put these meeples on the front. Why not, immediately I say to myself, I hate that main image, because why not showcase your great components? Why not showcase so many other things that you could have done there? And I'm just getting the impression that GameFound is recommending to people just to put your box, which I cannot argue enough against. It's just so boring and generic, and there's so much more you could tell me. But anywho, let's get into this video. As always with the videos, you're trying to convince people 3 things: that they want it, that you can do it, and that the price is right. Let's see if they did it, and how they did it, I should say.
Rumors of a spreading corruption whisper through the streets of the once-serene Everion. Desperate for help, all eyes turn to the Restless, lone adventurers accustomed to braving the dangerous wilderness. Pick your character in this open-world adventure game.
Immediately, I go back to how much I hate that main image. How much is better is this? Your box is generic and boring and plain and not great. Let's just be quite frank. Unless you love that artwork, that box is just meh. It's nothing special. But this picture right here, this moves the needle, I imagine, for so many people. This tickles so many people's interest, so they're just like, okay, what's this thing? The dual-layered boards. Look at the spiral-bound things. That look how nice it looks set up on the table. It's a solo game. It's there's so much good going here, and I don't feel like that main image does anything for me.
Character in this open-world adventure game.
Bags? Am I
Step
building a bag?
into a vast continent and explore diverse regions full of dangers and excitement.
Oh boy, look at all the text on that. If that book was open, I think I gotta do this and I'll keep going. If that book was open, how much? God, I hate you, GameFound. Stop with the auto scroll.
Rumors of a spreading corruption whisper. Pick your character in this open-world adventure game.
We'll talk later.
Step into a vast continent and explore diverse regions full of dangers and excitement.
That shot looks so good.
Level up your character.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that player board.
Collect epic treasures and befriend.
You can showcase your art on the player board better than you do with the box, because your box doesn't even have much.
Improve your reputation and
oh my gosh, look at how much there's stuff to tech trees. Look, I want to play this game right now.
Your reputation.
I want this to be on Tabletop Simulator, or Board Game Arena right now. I want to play it. It looks
trade
fun.
With the factions ruling Everion. Scour for gold in abandoned mines.
That shot was so good at showcasing how many pages we got. There's a lot of pages, a lot of text, a lot of pictures, a lot of flavor.
Meadows. Join the Holy Lightbringers, the Conniving Thieves Guild, or make a pact with the demonic forces. Explore treacherous dungeons and take on dangerous monsters from mischievous cabal.
So I do feel like this could be improved by just interweaving some of the components that you're also showcasing here. Because you're going through the book, and going through the book's great. But I feel like showcasing, like,
gripping.
what does that monster actually look like on the board? Like, even if it's a standee, like,
Tactical
who cares?
dice-based combat.
Oh, dice placement. Yes, please. And also...
Are you ready to defend Everion
so much
against
text.
the encroaching darkness?
Those are 4 of them. I know there's at least 4. I want this game. And I want to see the expansions, too. So there's at least 4 games here. And conceivably, each one is... I could probably pause now. Yeah, okay. And conceivably, each one of them is going to have, you know, replayability because you can take a different way that you handle the adventure, and there's tons of cards. That game looks like a banger. I want to play that game right now, solo, and then I want to teach it to my kids when they get home from school today. But that box just says, you know, and then even the description, like, I feel like the description was good, but I feel like maybe mentioned some components here. Like, yeah, you're really light fantasy, but like, how generic is fantasy? Like, come on, adventure camp, like, it's great, like, but why not tell me it's bag building or something? You know, let's see, deck building, cooperative, asymmetric, you know, terrain building, civilization, resource management, strategy. So the top ones here, they're really giving you more meat before you get into, you know, so for deck building. So like, I definitely feel like they should be using that. GameFound gives you the tools. Use them, please. I feel like I used to say that about Kickstarter. Now I'm saying it about GameFound. By the way, GameFound, I love what they're doing. Keep pushing Kickstarter. Because Kickstarter's... Like, I'm not worried about Kickstarter, but... Like, I feel like at one point we could have 2 juggernauts, right? Especially if Indiegogo gets more reputable tech projects to come over there, which I imagine they're going to start working on. Like, I'm so excited for this upcoming GameFound versus Kickstarter war that is brewing. Because right now, nowhere near a war, but we're going to get there. This is a first-time publisher. That's what I was checking here. Restless Designs. I'm all over the board, by the way. I've been very lax on making shows the last few weeks because there's something... Oh, Austria. It's super exciting happening behind the scenes at Bauer's Game Corner. And is this the first Restless Designs? All right. Restless Designs, board games. Is this their first? That's all I want to know. We're going to assume yes. Which, you know, good to know. So first, let's look at the funding goal. $29,000 says to me, as someone who worked for a manufacturer, that's a very realistic funding goal. That is probably actually what they need to do this. You know, because this doesn't look like it's incredibly expensive. Like, there's, you know, the dual-layered boards, there's niceties here, but it doesn't, and like, plenty of stuff for stretch goals as well, so I hope they have the stretch goals going on. But that feels like exactly what they need, and the hidden 73,000, I imagine they're pretty excited about it now, about what's going on. 515 backers, so 1,000 print run definitely on the table, because once you get to that 1,000 print run, 1,500 I really remember was being the sweet spot, where if you get 1,500, that's where you're really getting good bang for your buck on the games, and obviously as you continue to go up, it gets better, but 1,500 is the one we always told customers to shoot for, if you really want to try and capitalize on making some real money, going from 1,000 to 1,500. So 1 to 4, 45 minutes per thing, 3 to 5 on the complexity scale. Open world, fast tactical dice combat, deep character customization, well-iterated solo mode, streamlined fantasy, and I absolutely love this game. It is awesome. It does so many things that I love in adventure board gaming. So I hate this quote. It's all superfluous fluff. Like, and it didn't need to be. Like, I absolutely love this game, then just ... and then talk about some of the things that they loved about in this game. The character customization. I couldn't, like, I'm sure maybe you said, like, I couldn't wait to try a different character the next game. Stuff like that. Right? Oh man, if we would have been the flower instead of the worm next time, you know, we could have totally kicked this person's butt. Like, that sort of thing. Not a great quote, I don't think. Just superfluous fluff. Explore, so $136. So first and foremost, price. You hit me with a very reasonable price. No problem with that price at all with what you showed me. And I see, oh, it's got even some niceties, a leather down book. Oh my gosh. I got to take this phone call real quick. I don't know what it's from. Yellow. So we're going. Oh, no. Bye. Okay. I have a very important phone call that could potentially come, and that was just a spam call. So apologize, but you will understand why if you follow this channel in the next 6 months, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting for us. But no! Continuing on. That's why I'm so hyped today, by the way. Restless, I had a phone call today with someone who, if I told you their name, you'd freak out! Because I'm freaking out. Restless is one of my favorite of this type of genre that we have played. I really, really enjoyed it. So I will say this. This is more superfluous fluff, but it's more pointed. It's like, hey, we've played other games of this genre, and this is one of our favorites. So that one, like it. I'd love to know more because you took the time to do the ... but then you just added more superfluous fluffs. I really, really enjoyed this. You already have Restless is one of my favorites. Like, do we need to, like, sandwich it? Come on. You don't need to sandwich this superfluous fluff. Give me some meat somewhere. Why back now? Make it real. There's people. They make games. Okay, got it. Unless you have a personal touch in the video. I don't feel like a personal touch down here is nearly as much of a good play as personal touch in the video. Like at the end, it was like, we've been working on this for like 3 years, you know, and just tirelessly, blah, 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 blah. But you get it. Our goal is to deliver you the best version of Restless we can in both gameplay and components. If it makes the game better, it's in, regardless of the total funding. And we don't want to add components or systems we aren't passionate about just to boost sales. Every pledge, so they're saying there is no stretch goals. Disappointing. Incredibly disappointing and incorrect, right? Like, I feel like those bags, I saw those bags and I was like, oh, those feel like something you could easily make nicer because they're just generic colors. And it's like, okay, a beautifully produced, fast-playing experience that proves great stories don't need complicated rules to shine. That quote I do feel like is a very nice one. A lot of things they mentioned. Simple rule set, beautiful production, but that's whatevs. Fast-playing experience, like these are all great things. So you can do superfluous fluff without it being superfluous. It's just like, oh yeah, like spotlight the great things really fast. That was a good one. I think that's the best quote of the bunch. 328 people took the deluxe pledge, which includes this thing, which you haven't sold me in at all. So I hate the fact that we're going straight into me buying, but I don't know why I'm buying this other thing. You're just lumping in the expansion. It's a bad look. Why don't you sell it to me? You had a video, you could have sold it to me? And the why back now, you could have told me, like something, like, but no. So 77 for the core, that's totally fine. Because this definitely feels like more than a $60 game. It feels like it's deluxeified. You got the spiral notebooks, you got the dual layered. So that price is great. Like, how much is it? We're slam dunking right now. Honestly, I think $77 slapped next to that big old box would make that main image better. If you think this mountain is better, though, let me know in the comments. Let's have a fight. Because, like, it's such a garbage main image. And this looks like such a cool game with a lot of personality. That main image is just so... Like, it looks like it was just... Like, that could have been pooped out by AI, and you wouldn't say a word, would you? You'd be like, yeah, I can see that. I'm not saying it was. This looks like it's beautiful, hand-painted. But if it wasn't, you'd be like, yeah, I can see that, right? It's like the box is not your selling point here. And then we have the gameplay all in. So 144 people took this, 105. And that's, you know... That's a chunk, right? So what are we looking at here? We have roughly 500, and 1/3-ish of them took this one when you're hoping this is going to be the most dominant pledge, typically 7 to 10 to 1 of this. And it is way better than that. But I definitely feel like a little bit more on the front end, just taking whatever's on the bottom here and slapping it up here. Because why do I need this notebook? I don't know what these are. Are these just, what are these? These are pencils. Oh boy. These pencils. So once again, I go back to that notion that you said this is pre-stretch. My ass. Like, I have literally walked into the pencil store in Yiwu, China, in the Yiwu shopping district, where there is, like, it's just literally this tiny, tiny room that is top to bottom, nothing but pencils that you can have customized with your logos and your labels on it. Like, it is this is one of the, I'm pretty sure it's like the largest shopping district in the entire universe. Check it out. It's the Yiwu shopping district. And I've seen that. There are so many cool knickknacks, paddywhacks, all sorts of different sort of pencils that you could upgrade this to. Same with this notebook. So don't tell me it's pre-stretched. If you had $300,000 and I'm getting these generic-ass pencils, I don't want to hear it. That means you're not being creative enough with your stretch goals, or this just is a straight-up pre-order, in which case, we'll then talk about that. But I definitely, like, when you say it's pre-stretched, you better really mean it, and I don't see it here. I don't see pre-stretched. Synthetic leather. There you go. Oh, if we had, you know, it's a crazy one, but if we had $120,000, the synthetic leather goes to real leather just for this version, right? That's what stretch goals used to be. They used to have, like, the fact that you're like no stretch goals, it's just, I normally don't have a problem with it, but with you showing me your components, I'm like, yeah, really? Like, this is the best deluxeified you got? Like, it looks great, but don't get me wrong. If we hit a higher number, there's not a better one than that out there. Like, it feels like you're limiting yourself, right? I feel like that's what it is. Like, and I feel like one of the ways that a lot of games have been able to make a lot of money is not necessarily adding more content with stretch goals, but just deluxifying it to just high hell games. And I feel like you could have potentially had that. Like, the fact that you're telling me this is pre-stretched makes me, like, really poo-poo your manufacturer. Because whoever you're working with, your manufacturing, should have been like, oh, no. There are so many other ways that you could have upgraded this. So it's either, and it's just, man, I know this is a weird thing that you'd never hear on any other channel, which is why you should subscribe if you enjoy this weird, like those bags, those character bags. Yes, those are the finest character bags. There could be no stretch goals. Those could possibly not be improved. Let me zoom in so you can see the beautiful, intricate bags that look, like bags. Like, those couldn't be stretch gold if you hit 250K? Why would you limit yourself? I don't understand it. Like, even something as simple as alternate character meeples. Like, I know it's going to add to the weight. You need to look into all those sort of logistics and things, but just alternate character meeples. That doesn't take much time at all. I work for a manufacturer, so if you're going to tell me that this is all the way stretched, I want to feel it, and I don't. I do not. Oh boy. Are these black core cards? Are these blue core cards? I imagine they're white core cards, right? What's your GSM? What are we talking here? Don't tell me it's pre-stretched. Does this look deluxified to you? I'm not saying it doesn't look, I'm not saying it looks bad, by the way. I'm just all on this point that there's the fact that you have, or like, no stretch goals. Tell me it's a pre-order. Tell me this is going to be out in February, and I'll be like, okay, now I completely understand. And actually, let's see. What does it have, the shipping date? November? So no, it's next year. So yeah, you're just like, no, we don't want to talk more to our manufacturer about deluxifying things. These tokens surely could not be deluxe. Those cubes, there's no way to deluxify these cubes. I wonder what this green cube represents. I wonder if it represents like a leaf or something. But there's no way we could possibly deluxify this. And even if you didn't want it to be in the game, you could just make it an upgrade pack. It's like, all right, here's the stretch goals. They're going to come in this upgrade pack. It's incredibly common. That sort of mistake just reeks of not doing your research to me, which doesn't make sense to me because everything else about this feels incredibly polished and well done. Like, it just feels so odd to me. Download the rules. Great. World of Evasion. Like, you could talk to, like, you could reach out to Foreteller. Like, you could find the price of how much it would cost for Foreteller to do this. There's a stretch goal for you. Say, yep, we're done with that. If we could get $75,000 more, we will have Foreteller make you a thing for this. And people will be like, oh, goody gumdrops. Let me go share this with my friends because I love Foreteller on game X, Y, and Z. It's just, golly, get outside of the damn box. And maybe it's because they were trying to be one of those, like, we don't do stretch goals. I wonder if it was that elitism that just, I don't understand. Yes, we don't do this thing that people typically love and gets excitement. I don't understand it. I never will. Oh, hey, is this finally that thing you were trying to sell me way at the beginning? Yes, this is the expansion. I've just been mindlessly scrolling through your components. Which, by the way, price still feels great. Once again, I feel like this is all the makings of a $300,000 project. And maybe it just launched recently. Because maybe it is. It's going to blow up. Hopefully it does, because I think it's got everything it needs here, probably. Unless the gameplay just is dry as dirt when you watch it, which I don't imagine is the case. All right, so this is a 40-minute preview. All right. Preview. We got the full playthrough. There it is. Bingo. You got everything you need here, except for how to play. Which is not a necessity, but it is always just that extra icing on the cake. Different languages. Spectacular. Like this, like all of this just exudes polish. I would put some quotes under these. That definitely feels like something that just feels like a no-brainer, especially converting those quotes into English. I don't know why I don't see people do that enough. Make that the industry standard, please. If you have videos with different people speaking different languages, you can easily translate that to English, which once again is where the majority of people are going to back your project from. Where the language that the majority of people are going to back your project, I should say. Because I see sometimes I'll see quotes and they'll be in like Spanish. And I'm like, what are you doing? If I speak Spanish, I can watch the video and hear the quote. If I don't speak Spanish, then I really need you to translate it. Come on. Unless you think I'm going to sit there and read the subtitles. You're not that water movie that won the Oscar. That was a good one. It was a weird one. All right. So what are we doing shipping wise? 30, 38, 40. Thank you for converting the currency. Said no one. US 2. Where's US 1? Continental. Oh, booyah. Good deal. Yeah, keeping it clean. 22 euros, not bad. And once again, I say that because I feel like this is a larger box, and I'm getting 2 boxes. Oh, 29. 31. Okay. So the deluxe pledge then puts me at 180. That feels Kickstarter reasonable. But until I got up to the shipping, I was actually excited a little bit about your price, so I think that would carry over. All right. There we go. We're done. Anything else I think that was missed? No, I feel like that was a very informative, functional Kickstarter page. I feel like it was poorly organized. I don't feel like I needed the expansion in any way, shape, or form. I feel like you did a very poor job of glamorizing that expansion. And I feel like you did an even poorer job of glamorizing whatever the hell this stuff is. Like, these pencils, like, those pencils look like the kind of pencils I'd make for Bauer's Game Corner and hand out at a convention. They don't feel deluxified. And I know they feel deluxified over regular pencils, but if you're saying, like, just that, I'm just going to go a 2/3 point grade bump down for just limiting yourself with the stretch goals on a game that clearly looks like it could very easily be converted before manufacturing into a much nicer game. And here's the truth, folks. I work for a manufacturer, and I will tell you, if you reach out and you say to your customer service, whoever you're working with, you say, we want to know the cost it would be to do any of the upgrades that you see. Right, because how it works is you generally give them this list, and then they know a little bit about your game, and then they come up with that, and then they share it with you. Maybe it's over a Zoom call, maybe they send you an email back and forth. I did the emails back and forth. But, like, and you're supposed to, at least I would assume, I was trained to do this. I imagine most manufacturers do this because this is just, you're taught to upsell as a car salesman, as anybody, you're taught to upsell. They're saying, hey, but you could totally bump up the GS up on these cards, especially if they're going to be frequently shuffled. Or, oh, they have these tokens, but we have these nicer tokens. Like, you can do the screen printing, you can do the foil press. There's so many different options that you have as a manufacturer, unless you're going through a god-awful manufacturer who just, like, which I don't imagine they are. They didn't mention who it was. Always a good choice. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, 2/3 of a point grade bump down for just the pre-stretch, like no stretch goals on what could clearly be things that could be stretch goals that impact your manufacturing 0%. Like 0%. If you say, oh, now we're going to want an emblem on these bags, they're like, okay. Like, it's like, here's the extra cost. It's not like it's like, oh, that's going to add an extra 6 days. It's like, send us the artwork over. We'll approve it. Like, that does look like a good rule booklet, though. Everything about this game looks very good. I want to play it. Adventures in the Dark, update number 8. Thank you for not telling me anything. Oh, this is the update number 8, and you're telling me about the expansion. So when did we launch? Let's go over that. We launched on fully funded, 24 hours to launch. So we wanted to, so yeah, it's only been 3 days. Okay, yeah, get that main image out of here. Get that garbage out of here. Put some of your things, right? Tell me something. Show me the price. Show me some components. Show me a dual-layered board, a spiral-bound book. Tell me there's unlimited adventure. Show me some art to me, aside from just the stinking circle box. But keep the size of the box, right? Keep the size of the box. And now, finally, we're going to sell you on this expansion. All right, let's see what this says. It adds that. It has the Shade Walker. Yeah. Okay. Secret envelopes. Yeah, let's see what people said. I'm curious. They said, I assume we have one general updated rule booklet for the combined. The base game will come with the main rule booklet. Excuse me. Which is mostly finished by this point. Awesome. So yeah, not much engagement. I would ask people questions. Looks like pretty uninspiring updates, but they look like totally functional updates. Still don't feel like sold on the expansion. Most recent, rumors of a spreading corruption. Oh, so thematic one. We're always happy. So yeah, they're going to talk about the game. As long as you put up the price through additional content we have to pay extra for, that's always a real bummer and not a very appreciated thing. Did they respond to that? They did not. Ooh. Oh, they did. There won't be any additional add-ons. We aren't fans of that kind of strategy either. And that doesn't surprise me. If they're not fans of the stretch goals, those components totally could be stretch gold, though. Have you discussed any ideas with your manufacturer? Why not? Let's put somebody's feet to the fire. GameFound lets you do it. Kickstarter don't. What GameFound do? Those components could be stretch goal, though. Have you discussed it? Yeah, there we go. I misspelled it. That feels on brand. Honestly, I love the lore and world building from the playthrough that I've watched. You gotta thumb myself. Come on. If you don't like yourself, who's going to like it? Does the expansion become part of the main game, or is it played separately? I like that question. I assume it's just weaved in. The expansion is fully integrated into the main game. So once again, the fact that someone has to ask that tells you just how little it was sold to you, right? Like, and it could have been at the end of the video, right? And oh no, and the expansion could do a oncoming. Like, you could have done it really swiftly. So I'm like, okay, there's a $77 price point, but that's not what I'm buying. That price, and by the way, because this is just in my brain how this logically would work. You say, all right, I want the base game, $77, done. Great price, doesn't feel like a problem at all. It feels like it doesn't feel like a $60 game. Okay? And then, not you, we go there and you say, okay, expansion, $28, that's it, done. Done deal. We're in and out. You have my money if we handle business this way. So but you just had to tell me a little bit more about it, I feel like, right? And then when you want to do the deluxified, you need to show me the deluxification somewhere, because I didn't see it in the video. I didn't see it on the page. I click on it, and I don't see it here. And then you're like, can't make it any nicer. I say, really? You got an extra $44,000 jingling in your pocket in theory, so I feel like maybe we could get some nicer pencils. Or, like, it's just, I don't feel like I'm off base there with that one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. But if you're going to tell me pre-stretched, I better feel pre-stretched. 2/3 of point grade bumped down on that. Does the expansion become part of the main game? Will this game be available in languages? That's a cool one. Only available in English. That'd be amazing. It would be an enormous undertaking to translate this entire adventure. This is where you finish that by saying, but if anyone would love to potentially take that journey with us, here's the email. Because we could come to some sort of arrangement, like that's where you see this as an opportunity, because there will be people, there will be board game geeks, it's in the name, who will read the whole rule booklet, they'll look at all the cards and be like, oh, I can't wait to do this, who will be thinking about when this game comes to them, what kind of strategy they are going to undertake, especially solo gamers. I have a couple friends that are exactly like that, and sometimes I just love to let them tee off on me about upcoming solo games they're excited to play and the elaborate strategies they're going to do, because they think about it. Like, I love how everybody games different, but if you're that, also, chime in the comments. It's a thing. So final grade to this one. Do I want it? Yes, I do. I feel like you did some good wordplay in your description there, but from just the outside of Game Found, I am not excited about your project at all. It does not stand out in any way, shape, or form. Anything. Like, you literally have the least. Games, components. Games, okay, you're tied for the least with them. 2 games, oh, you're going to show me the expansion that you want me to buy? Yeah, there you go. Games and a weird grill thing. Hey, I'll take a weird grill thing over, nothing. Like, look around you. Components. Boom. Yeah, there's a mini spot there. They didn't zoom in very well on it. They need to change the angles, but you see what I'm saying. That looks cool. It's just step it up, because you got a fantastic looking game here. And if you can get people to that video, I think it's done. I think you're over. I like this shot right here. This is why I hate GameFound's decision to do squares instead of rectangles, because that right there in a rectangle, that sells me the game. Show me the box. Show me $77. Tell me about the unlimited adventures I could play with my friends and families. Still, do I want it? Yes. Can you do it? I don't know. This is your first game, but you need $29,000. That seems very reasonable to me, and you have way more than $29,000, which conceivably means that now, instead of deluxifying your game, you're just going to make a larger print run of your game, which, it's a bit disappointing as your first time backer. And I'm not saying that. I'm trying to put it in the perspective of someone who backs Kickstarter projects. And I just feel like if I were a backer of a lot of Kickstarter projects and you're a first time funded and you not only hit your goal, but you smash the living snot out of it, and you have the opportunity to just stretch goal your way into oblivion, to just lead off with a stretch goal of, all right, we're not touching the gameplay. The gameplay is exactly what we've envisioned, but due to the overwhelming excitement that the community has for this game, we have hit all these stretch goals that take this already great game that we thought was pre-stretched and made it just so much better with like a triple layer board or something stupid. Like, you could just go buck wild while still also, of course, hitting large print runs. I feel like there's a line that could be straddled there, and they're not doing it well. And I hope they reconsider that, because it doesn't feel deluxified. And either that or just spotlight what the hell this pledge is way better. But I do want to check this out to make sure they don't have a track record before we give this grade, because I think it's going to be a very good grade. Aside from the main image, I feel like they did a lot of things well there. The organization wasn't great either, but they had all the information that you needed. Yeah, so... Oh, but I was worried about... I honestly thought that was an AI image. And it might be. Oh, that's where it was. Midjourney AI. Okay, so this is... Oh, yeah. This is where it gets interesting, right? Because you see that big booklet, and they're like, okay, if the artist, you're like, oh, we're already using Midjourney, how much of this is human-made versus artificial intelligence? And it's their first game. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, howdy. So right now, I have a grade to give, and then I'm going to make a new segment. We're doing it new. We're doing it live, and I want you to join me. We got 7 people in the chat, and I want you to take a guess. If you are a Board Game Geek member, I want you to guess what this game, how it'll be rated on Board Game Geek when it comes a year after it is released, right? You know, is it rated 8,550? Is it the #1 game of all time? Is it 23,000? Like, and generally, in case you're wondering, once you get to about, I'd say 14,000, that's where it's like, like, and for most people, like, that's where it's really started to hit or miss. Honestly, I feel like most people like to swim in the top 5,000 kind of area. But knowing what I know, oh boy, that's a tough one. A new segment. I'm gonna put my foot to the fire. I have serious concerns about the amount of artificial intelligence that is in this adventure book, and maybe I will say I at least do appreciate the fact there's not stretch goals now. Like my number would be substantial. Oh, we got to do the grade first. Do I want it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. How much is it? Yes. Shipping sucks, but we're gonna go with I did a 2/3 of a point grade bump down, so I'm gonna go with a B minus. But like legitimate concerns about that. Let's see if other people are mentioning in the comments, because we could search through the comments for AI. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that this is a Midgard thing. Interesting. Should Forrest drop a pipe bomb? I feel like people would want to know. But that's not for me to do. Because I want them to succeed, because I want to see what this game shakes out to be. I'm going with a B minus, and my prediction for where this game will rank, knowing that I know that you're using that, and knowing that this is your first time making a game, you have no track record. I'm going to go 12,400. 12,400. A game that second print run, polish, refine, truly deluxify. Yeah. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Where do you just make a bold prediction? What do you think this game will be ranked in the Board Game Geek top games of all time 1 year after it's released to the people on in theory November 2027? But let me also know in the comments below, what is your final grade for Restless? And do you agree with me on just beating up that main image? I feel like it does absolutely no good at all for this otherwise really cool looking project. Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.